Hello everybody, my name is Harrison, and in this video we'll be covering how to block in fighting games, which sounds simple, but you'll come to find out that it's quite complicated once you break it down. So let's get right into it. For some quick clarification, in the bottom left you'll see what directions I'm talking about when we get to it, but these directions are going to be notated just like a number pad. So the bottom left is going to be 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, which is neutral, 6, 7, 8, and 9. As you can see from this example here, if you hold backwards while an opponent is attacking you, you'll block the attack and most of the damage that comes with it. However, you'll also see that if you just hold back, your opponent can hit you with a low attack that may be able to catch you off guard. So what's the point in blocking if your opponent can hit you with a low attack? Well, as you can see here, you can hold down and back, and you can block low. This is generally how you're going to block most of the time, as normal attacks can be blocked like this as well. But your opponent can jump in the air and do what's called an overhead attack, and this will hit you if you're holding down back, which can be pretty frustrating sometimes, and it really makes you have to think about which way you're going to be holding back. So, as you can see, currently, it looks like the best defense is a good offense. You don't really want to be blocking in fighting games, so being able to read your opponent's block strings and find a point where you can do something against them works quite well. And as you can see, he's getting hit with an overhead that isn't jumping. So sometimes you'll even have to adapt to stuff like that. And when you're dealing with a block string here like this that's fast and complicated, your best bet is going to be these couple skills that I can show you in just a few seconds. Before I show you some of those ways to get out of block strings, I wanted to show you some block strings from another game. So in Street Fighter, as you can see, the pushback when you're getting blocked is a lot more. So your character will have to find sort of longer ways to be able to hit the opponent and will have to walk up more. As compared to Leo, or really any character in Guilty Gear, the pushback is very sort of not large, and so you can see that Leo's sort of free to roam and do whatever he wants. Especially, this is an example of like an actual block string a Leo player would do. And as you can see, they're sort of free to roam and do whatever they want. They're using some more Guilty Gear mechanics, but they have so many moves and options to block that it's a little bit crazy. So here's some ways to get out of block strings. If you know there's a gap, you can throw in a fast move like that, and it'll get what's called a counter hit, which means the opponent is in a startup for their move, but you hit them first. So that is always an option, and some moves may not have enough range, just like that move, but you will always have a move that is fast that has the potential to hit somebody out of their block string if it's not true. Alternatively, another option you have is jumping out of the block string. So as you can see here, you can jump away if there's a gap, and then you can return to sort of a neutral game where you and your opponent are fighting to get the other person to block. And as you can see, we're also getting to some pretty interesting parts which are called Dragon Punches. Now, Leo has a meterless Dragon Punch, which means it does not require meter, and these moves are invincible on the startup. So if your opponent is trying to throw out a move to hit somebody, then they will get counter hit, and Leo will come out on top when he does the Dragon Punch. The Dragon Punch is coined by Ryu, whose Shoryuken is called Dragon Punch. So this mechanic is in all games, but as you can see here, you can bait a Dragon Punch, and those moves are generally very punishable, and you can get large damage if you predict that your opponent's going to do one of them. So, in all games, including Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, any character that has this, as you can see by the red and blue in Street Fighter as well, that is very negative. And so, you can also wake up, if your character doesn't have a meterless Dragon Punch, they have a move that is invincible on wake up that's generally a super. So as you can see here, Leo also has one of these, and he's going to super, and he's going to counter hit somebody with a move out. And it's a very potent sort of way to really get pressure off of you, especially because supers will generally end up spacing you out. However, similarly, you can bait a super as well, and that can be a big problem because you can get another large punish. And these generally result in pressure, and as well as you can see there, you can predict it with certain moves as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you off with that. You now know how to jump out of block strings, how to hit people out of block strings, how do you do reversals out of block strings. And for some quick examples of all this, I'm going to show off a game between me and my friends here, and I'll leave you with that. I'll let the game play out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock. Slap.
帰れるよ帰ろう
Ramlethal wins.